Shabbat Shalom, my brothers and sisters in Yahweh, and welcome. Welcome to our Shabbat Bible study. Praise be to Yahweh. We have Shabbat. Praise be to the Father. We're all together today to study His Word. Isn't that awesome? It's an awesome thing. So, this Shabbat we are studying Wayyiqra, and we're on chapters 12, 13, and 14. So go ahead and get your Bibles so that you can read along with me, because it's really important that you read along with me so that you see it with your own eyes. Okay, I don't care what translation that you use, just follow along. It's for your benefit that you follow along to help you learn and to see it and to hear it both. Okay? Cool. Hey, if you guys missed out on the midweek, that was a really good study. Chapters 10 and 11 of Wayyiqra, that was a really good study, and there was a lot of really good information there. So if you get a chance, you might want to go and check that out. It goes along with everything else that we're studying in Leviticus. It goes along with the law. Okay? All right. So, got your Bibles? Got something to drink? We're ready to go. I'm going to have me a drink real quick. Slurp off my coffee. All right. Wayyiqra, chapter 12. And Yahweh spoke to Moshe, saying, Speak to the children of Israel, saying, When a woman has conceived, and has given birth to a male child, then she shall be unclean 7 days. As in the days of her monthly separation, she is unclean. And on the 8th day the flesh of his foreskin is circumcised. Okay, everybody remember why we do that? Well, if you want to refresh your memory, let's go ahead and we will flip over to Genesis 17:13. Okay? And then we can refresh our memories. If my fingers will do what I want them to. Alright, fing dingies. Alright. Genesis chapter 17, verse 13. Okay, here we go. Well, actually, let's start on 11. Okay, verse 11 we'll start. And you shall circumcise the flesh of your foreskin, and it shall become a sign of the covenant between me, Yahweh, and you. And a son of 8 days is circumcised by you, every male child in your generation, he who is born in your house or bought with silver from any foreigner who is not of your seed. Verse 13. He who is born in your house and he who is bought with your silver has to be circumcised. So shall my covenant be in your flesh for an everlasting covenant. Okay, so that explains why we need to circumcise. Okay, so let's continue. Verse 4. And she remains in the blood of her cleansing for 33 days. She does not touch whatever is set apart. She does not come into the set apart place until the days of her cleansing are completed. But if she gives birth to a female child, then she shall be unclean for 2 weeks, as in her monthly separation, and she remains in the blood of her cleansing for 66 days. And when the days of her cleansing are completed, for a son or for a daughter, she brings to the priest a lamb a year old as an ascending offering, and a young pigeon or a turtle dove as a sin offering to the door of the tent of appointment. And he shall bring it before Yahweh, and make atonement for her. And she shall be cleansed from the flow of her blood. This is the Torah for her who has given birth to a male or female child. And if she is not able to bring a lamb, then she shall bring 2 turtle doves, or 2 young pigeons, one as an ascending offering, and the other as a sin offering. And the priest shall make atonement for her. She shall be clean. Okay? So that way we understand what a woman's got to go through after she has childbirth. Okay? The week of her cleansing, or in this case, many days. Okay? Because we don't need a bunch of blood all over the place. And if you've ever had children, you know that after birth, the woman is pretty weak. So, this just shows how to take care of all of that. More common sense, right? Alright, chapter 13. And Yahweh spoke to Moshe and to Aaron, saying, when a man has on the skin of his body a swelling, a scab, or a bright spot, and it shall become on the skin of his body like a leprous infection, then he shall be brought to Aaron the priest, or to one of his sons the priests. And the priest shall look at the infection on the skin of the body, and if the hair on the infection has turned white, and the infection appears to be deeper than the skin of his body, it is a leprous infection, and the priest shall look at him and pronounce him unclean. Now, I know that we don't have a lot of leprosy in this country, or in this world actually anymore, but we do have a lot of herpes going around, it seems like. So, it would probably be a good idea, if you're infected with that kind of a thing, to listen to this closely, so that we don't spread diseases. Okay? If you love your brother and you love your neighbor, and Elohim is the most important thing, body, mind, and soul, you love Elohim, then you should go along with these kind of things if you have a transmittable disease. Okay? Alright, let's continue on with this. Verse 4. But if the bright spot is white on the skin of his body, and does not appear to be deeper than the skin, and its hair has not turned white, then the priest shall shut up the infected one 7 days. And the priest shall look at him on the 7th day, and see if the infection appears to be as it was, and the infection has not spread on the skin, then the priest shall shut him up another 7 days. And the priest shall look at him again on the 7th day, and see if the infection has darkened, and the infection has not spread on the skin. Then the priest shall pronounce him clean. It is a scab, and he shall wash his garments and be clean. But if the scab spreads further over the skin, and he has been seen by the priest for his cleansing, he shall be seen by the priest again. And the priest shall look and see if the scab has spread on the skin. Then the priest shall pronounce him unclean. It is leprosy. When the infection of leprosy is on a man, then he shall be brought to the priest, and the priest shall look and see if the swelling on the skin is white, and it has turned the hair white, and there is a spot of raw flesh in the swelling. It is an old leprosy on the skin of his body, and the priest shall pronounce him unclean. He does not shut him up, for he is unclean. And if leprosy breaks out all over the skin, and the leprosy shall cover all the skin of the infected one, from his head to his foot, wherever the priest looks, then the priest shall look and see if the leprosy has covered all his body. He shall pronounce the infected one clean. It has all turned white. He is clean. But the day raw flesh appears on him, he is unclean. And the priest shall look at the raw flesh and pronounce him to be unclean. The raw flesh is unclean. It is leprosy. Or when the raw flesh changes and turns white again, he shall come to the priest. And the priest shall look at him and see. If the infection has turned white, then the priest shall pronounce the infected one clean. He is clean. And when the body has a boil in the skin, and it is healed, and in the place of the boil there comes a white swelling or bright spot, reddish white, then it shall be seen by the priest. And the priest shall look and see if it appears deeper than the skin, and its hair has turned white. The priest shall pronounce him unclean. It is a leprous infection which has broken out of the boil. But if the priest looks at it and sees no white hair in it, and it is not deeper than the skin, but has faded, then the priest shall shut him up 7 days. And if it has spread further over the skin, then the priest shall pronounce him unclean. It is a leprous infection. But if the bright spot stays in its place, it has not spread. It is the scar of the boil, and the priest shall pronounce him clean. Or when the body receives a burn on its skin by fire, and the raw flesh of the burn shall become a bright spot, reddish, white, or white, then the priest shall look at it and see. If the hair of the bright spot has turned white, and it appears deeper than the skin, it is leprosy broken out in the burn, and the priest shall pronounce him unclean. It is a leprous infection. But if the priest looks at it and sees there are no white hairs in the bright spot, and it is not deeper than the skin, but has faded, then the priest shall shut him up 7 days. And the priest shall look at him on the 7th day. If it spreads further over the skin, then the priest shall pronounce him unclean. It is a leprous infection. But if the bright spot stays in its place, and has not spread on the skin, but has faded, it is a swelling from the burn, and the priest shall pronounce him clean, for it is the scar from the burn. And when a man or a woman has an infection on the head or in the beard, then the priest shall look at the infection and see. If it appears deeper than the skin, and there is yet thin yellow hair in it, then the priest shall pronounce him unclean. It is an eruption, a leprosy of the head or beard. But when the priest looks at the infection of the eruption and sees that it does not appear deeper than the skin, then there is no black hair in it, then the priest shall shut up the one with the infection of the eruption 7 days. And on the 7th day the priest shall look at the infection and see. If the eruption has not spread, and there is no yellow hair in it, and the eruption does not appear deeper than the skin, then he shall shave himself. But the eruption he does not shave. And the priest shall shut up the one with the eruption another 7 days. And on the 7th day the priest shall look at the eruption and see. If the eruption has not spread over the skin, and does not appear deeper than the skin, then the priest shall pronounce him clean. And he shall wash his garments, and he shall be clean. But if the eruption spreads further over the skin after his cleansing, then the priest shall look at him and see. If the eruption has spread over the skin, the priest need not seek for a yellow hair. He is unclean. But if the eruption appears to have stayed, and there is a black hair growing up in it, the eruption has healed. He is clean, and the priest shall pronounce him clean. And when a man or a woman has bright spots on the skin of the body, white, bright spots, then the priest shall look and see. If the bright spots on the skin of the body are dull white, it is a white spot that grows on the skin. He is clean. And when a man loses the hair of his head, he is bald. He is clean. And if the hair has fallen from his forehead, he is bald on the forehead. He is clean. Good thing on that one, huh? And when there is on the bald head or bald forehead a reddish white infection, it is leprosy breaking out on his bald head or his bald forehead. And the priest shall look at it and see. If the swelling of the infection is reddish white on his bald head or on his bald forehead, as the appearance of leprosy on the skin of the body. He is a leprous man, he is unclean. The priest shall pronounce him unclean without fail. His infection is on his head. As for the leper who has the infection, his garments are torn, and his head is uncovered, and he has to cover his upper lip and cry, unclean, unclean. He's got to let everybody know that he's got an issue. He is unclean. All the days he has the infection, he is unclean. He is unclean, and he dwells alone. His dwelling place is outside the camp. So they boot him out of the camp while this is going on. There again, we got to make sure that everybody's, healthy, wealthy, and wise. We don't want to spreading no diseases or infections or anything amongst this camp. Same thing with society, gang. Verse 47, and when a garment has an infection of leprosy in it, it is a woolen garment, or in a linen garment, or in the warp, or in the weft of linen or wool, or in leather, or in any leather work, and the infection shall be greenish or reddish in the garment, or in the leather, or in the warp, or in the weft, or in any leather object. It is an infection of leprosy, and shall be shown to the priest. And the priest shall look at the infection, and shut up the infected one 7 days. And he shall look at the infection on the 7th day. And when the infection has spread in the garment, or in the warp, or in the weft, or in any leather, or any leather work, the infection is an active leprosy, it is unclean. And he shall burn that garment, or the warp, or the weft, in wool, or in linen, or any leather object in which the infection is, for it is an active leprosy. It is burned with fire. But if the priest looks and sees that the infection has not spread in the garment, or in the warp, or in the weft, or in any leather object, then the priest shall give command, and they shall wash that in which the infection is, and he shall shut it up another 7 days. And the priest shall look at the infection after it has been washed, and see if the infection has not changed its appearance, though the infection has not spread. It is unclean, and burn it in the fire. It is eaten away in its inside or outside. And if the priest shall look and see that the infection is faded after washing it, then he shall tear it out of the garment, or out of the warp, or out of the weft, or out of the leather. And if it is still seen in the garment, or in the warp, or in the weft, or in any leather object, it is a spreading infection. Burn it with fire, that in which the infection is. And if you wash the garment, or the warp, or the weft, or any leather object, if the infection has disappeared from it, then it shall be washed a 2nd time, and shall be clean. This is the Torah of the infection of leprosy in a garment of wool or linen, or in the warp, or in the weft, or in any leather object, to pronounce it clean, or to pronounce it unclean. Okay? We got that part done, didn't we? Alright. Chapter 14. And Yahweh spoke to Moshe, saying, This shall be the Torah of the leper for the day of his cleansing. He shall be brought to the priest. And the priest shall go out of the camp, and the priest shall look and see if the leprosy is healed in the leper. Then the priest shall command, and he shall take for him who is to be cleansed 2 live and clean birds, and cedar wood, and scarlet, and hyssop. And the priest shall command, and he shall slay one of the birds in an earthen vessel over running water. Let him take the live bird, and the cedar wood, and the scarlet, and the hyssop, and dip them and the live bird in the blood of the bird that was slain over the running water. So you slay one of them, you cut it up, you drain the blood out of it into a bowl over running water, and then you take the live bird and you tie it on to like a stick or something of cedar wood, and then tie scarlet and hyssop to it, and then dip them in the blood and the water from the first bird. Okay? Verse 7, and he shall sprinkle it 7 times on him who is to be cleansed from the leprosy, and shall pronounce him clean, and shall let the live bird loose in the open field. So he dips it and sprinkles and dips it and sprinkles 7 times, and then lets the bird go. Now, if we remember right, this is for atonement of sin, because leprosy is considered something sinful. You did something and you ended up with leprosy because you sinned. All right? So, through the atonement of blood. Let's do a reference on that in Matthew chapter 8. Okay? Let me mark my place so I don't lose my place. Matthew chapter 8. Okay. All right, Matthew chapter 8. And when he came down from the mountain, a large crowd followed him. And see, a leper came and bowed before him, saying, Master, if you desire, you are able to make me clean. And stretching out his hand, Yehoshua touched him, saying, I desire it, be cleansed. And immediately his leprosy was cleansed. And Yehoshua said to him, See, mention it to no one, but go your way, show yourself to the priest, and offer the gift that Moshe commanded, as a witness to them. And when Yehoshua had entered Capharnaum, a captain came to him, appealing to him. Okay, we don't need to go any further than that, because this is a whole different situation here. But Yehoshua cleansed him, and then told him to go and have the priest do the ceremony for him. Okay, the atonement for sin, a blood offering. All right, do you see that? Okay, that's all the further we need to go in Matthew. So let's go back. Okay, chapter 14 in Leviticus, verse 8. And he who is to be cleansed shall wash his garments, and shall shave off all his hair, and wash himself in water, and shall be clean. Then after that he comes into the camp, but shall stay outside his tent 7 days. And on the 7th day it shall be that he shaves all the hair off his head, and his beard, and his eyebrows, even all his hair he shaves off. And he shall wash his garments, and wash his body in water, and shall be clean. And on the 8th day he takes 2 male lambs, perfect ones, and 1 ewe lamb a year old, a perfect one, and 3/10 of an ephah of fine flour mixed with oil as a grain offering, and 1 log of oil. And the priest who is cleansing shall present the man who is to be cleansed with these offerings before Yahweh at the door of the tent of appointment. And the priest shall take 1 male lamb, and bring it as a guilt offering, and the log of oil, and wave them as a wave offering before Yahweh. And he shall slay the lamb in the place where he slays the sin offering and the ascending offering, in a set-apart place, for the guilt offering, like the sin offering, belongs to the priest. It is most set apart. And the priest shall take some of the blood of the guilt offering, and the priest shall put it on the tip of the right ear of him who is to be cleansed, and on the thumb of his right hand, and on the big toe of his right foot, just like the anointing of the priests. And the priest shall take some of the log of oil and pour it into the palm of his own left hand. And the priest shall dip his right finger in the oil that is in his left hand, and shall sprinkle some of the oil with his finger 7 times before Yahweh. And of the rest of the oil in his hand, the priest puts some on the tip of the right ear of him who is to be cleansed, and on the thumb of his right hand, and on the big toe of his right foot, on the blood of the guilt offering. So he goes ahead and does the same thing with the oil that he did with the blood. He puts the oil on top of the blood. Verse 18, and the rest of the oil that is in the priest's hand he puts on the head of him who is to be cleansed, and the priest shall make atonement for him before Yahweh. And the priest shall make the sin offering, and make atonement for him who is to be cleansed from his uncleanness. Then afterwards he slays the ascending offering. And the priest shall offer the ascending offering and the grain offering on the slaughter place, and the priest shall make atonement for him, and he shall be clean. But if he is poor, and is unable to afford it, then he shall take 1 male lamb as a guilt offering to be waved, to make atonement for him, and 1/10 of an ephah of fine flour mixed with oil as a grain offering, and a log of oil. And 2 turtle doves, or 2 young pigeons, such as he is able to afford. And one shall be a sin offering, and the other an ascending offering. And he shall bring them to the priest on the 8th day for his cleansing, to the door of the tent of appointment before Yahweh. And the priest shall take the lamb of the guilt offering and the log of oil, and the priest shall wave them as a wave offering before Yahweh. And he shall slay the lamb of the guilt offering, and the priest shall take some of the blood of the guilt offering and put it on the tip of the right ear of him who is to be cleansed, and on the thumb of his right hand, and on the big toe of his right foot. Then the priest pours some of the oil into the palm of his own left hand, and the priest shall sprinkle with his right finger some of the oil that is in his left hand 7 times before Yahweh. So it's the same thing as he did for the other one. And the priest shall put some of the oil that is in his hand on the tip of the right ear of him who is to be cleansed, and on the thumb of the right hand, and on the big toe of his right foot, on the place of the blood of the guilt offering. Okay? And the rest of the oil that is in the priest's hand he puts on the head of him who is to be cleansed, to make atonement for him before Yahweh. And he shall prepare 1 of the turtle doves or young pigeons, such as he is able to afford. That which he is able to afford, the one as a sin offering, and the other as an ascending offering with the grain offering, and the priest shall make atonement for him who is to be cleansed before Yahweh. This is the Torah for one who had an infection of leprosy, who is unable to afford for his cleaning. And Yahweh spoke to Moshe and to Aaron, saying, When you come into the land of Canaan, which I have given you as a possession, and I put a plague of leprosy in a house in the land of your possession, then shall the one who owns the house come and inform the priest, saying, It seems to me that there is some plague in the house. So if you've got a fungus growing in your house, it could be that you have been, you did something wrong and you brought a curse upon yourself, and now you're going to have to deal with it in your house. Verse 36, And the priest shall command, and they shall empty the house before the priest goes in to look at the plague, so that all that is in the house is not made unclean. And after that the priest goes in to look at the house. And he shall look at the plague, and see if the plague is on the walls of the house with sunken places, greenish or reddish, which appears to be deep in the wall. Then the priest shall go out of the house to the door of the house and shut up the house 7 days, lock the place up. And the priest shall come again on the 7th day and look and see if the plague has spread on the walls of the house. Then the priest shall command, and they shall remove the stones with the plague in them, and they shall throw them outside the city into an unclean place. So they're digging out the wall where the growth is, wherever this fungus is growing on the wall. They dig it out and they take those bricks and toss them outside the camp. Excuse me. Verse 41. While he lets the house be scraped inside all around, and the dust that they scrape off they shall pour out in an unclean place outside the city. And they shall take other stones and put them in the place of those stones, and take other mortar and plaster the house. And if the plague comes back and breaks out in the house, after he has removed the stones, after he has scraped the house, and after it is plastered, then the priest shall come and look and see. If the plague has spread in the house, it is an active leprosy in the house. It is unclean. And he shall break down the house, its stones, and its timber, and all the plaster of the house, and he shall bring them outside the city to an unclean place. So if it spreads, your house is toast. They're going to knock it down and haul it away. Verse 46, and he who goes into the house all the days while it is shut up becomes unclean until evening. And he who lies down in the house has to wash his garments, and he who eats in the house has to wash his garments. However, if the priest indeed comes in and looks at it and sees that the plague has not spread in the house after the house was plastered, then the priest shall pronounce the house clean, because the plague is healed. And to cleanse the house he shall take 2 birds, and cedar wood, and scarlet and hyssop, and he shall slay one of the birds in an earthen vessel over running water. And he shall take the cedar wood, and hyssop, and the scarlet, and the live bird, and dip them in the blood of the slain bird, and in the running water, and shall sprinkle the house 7 times. So he's going to do the same thing. He's going to take that live bird and tie it to a cedar stick with hyssop and with scarlet, and dip it in the blood and water, and sprinkle it around the house 7 times. Verse 52, he shall thus cleanse the house with the blood of the bird, and the running water, and the live bird, and with the scarlet wood, and with the hyssop, and with the scarlet. And he shall let the live bird loose outside the city in an open field, and shall make atonement for the house, and it shall be clean. This is the Torah for any infection of leprosy and eruption, and for leprosy of a garment, and of a house, and for swelling, and for a scab, and for a bright spot, to teach when it is unclean, and when it is clean. This is the Torah of leprosy. And that's the end of chapter 14. As we can see, Yah is very concerned about keeping everybody healthy, wealthy, and wise. So if there's any chance of the spreading of disease, you better take care of it. You better go get the priest and have him look you over and check you all out and make sure that you're not going to spread it to anybody else. You can understand that. That makes sense. In those days, there wasn't doctors that you could run to and pay them an exorbitant amount of money to have them tell you that you got eczema. You know what I mean? Or that you got a case of herpes and you better keep it to yourself. Ugh. Anyway, that just shows that cleanliness, disinfectant, keep the spread of disease down in the camp or in the city. Okay, because those people live close together and they didn't exactly have running water in their bathrooms. You know what I mean? So they had to take care of things a certain way. Still good advice. It's good advice for all of us today. To mind yourself, to keep yourself clean, and don't go running around catching diseases from other people. Yeah. Well, gang, another good study in Leviticus, Wayyiqra. I hope you all enjoyed it. And I pray that we're learning. I pray that these are useful things for your life to learn, because everything is very practical. Everything in the Bible is very practical. So if we follow Yahweh's practicality, it makes us better for it. And it's good knowledge. Wisdom and knowledge is what we're seeking. So, well, I hope y'all have a great Sabbath. Happy Shabbat. And study Yah's Word today. Don't take it for granted. Don't take it for granted that this is an opportunity to go and do crazy things or go shopping or go spend money or whatever. Today is a day of rest. Today is Yahweh's day of rest. So the fact that it belongs to Yahweh, we should probably spend it giving Him thanks and praise, studying His Word, and learning and praying. Okay? All right. Thanks for joining me again, gang, and we will see you Monday for our next study in New Beliefs. All right? All right. Y'all take care. Yah bless, and Shabbat Shalom.